Everybody, it's me T coming at you with a reading. A little delayed. I don't know why I was stalling, honestly, because I was getting all these signs to come on here and do this earlier. And, oh, you know what? Let me just add. It's so, okay, back on, sorry. So, okay, today is Thursday. There's like a little bit of frustration in there. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's okay. Actually, I kind of do know. I think Scorpios are just normally a little frustrated. So if you, like, they're about the energies of like not having it. Like, absolutely not. They're I'm gonna say they're the absolutely no type of energies. Along with Sagittarius, I feel like they're both, and Capricorn, yeah, I'm like trying to think of anything else, possibly even Aries, but like the whole thing is, I just wanted to say, and possibly even Cancer, to be honest with you, but so, yeah, it's just like crabby energies for some reason, like, I don't know what it is, so, frustrating, crabby, that type of energy, but even though it's like a high vibrational aspect of it, it's like it could just be that the energies are like that today, and you know, you're just kind of rolling with the homies. But really what I wanted to say was rolling with the punches. Is that the saying? So yeah, I'm really here to loudly bring you a mediumship reading in terms of what you guys need to hear. So that's definitely something that's super opening up. And I guess because of the fact that the veil is getting ever so thinner, right? We're almost up to those Halloween energies, baby. So I'm excited. Anyhow, let's just pick these. Thank you for the Yang card, the Yin card, and the Midway Happy Way card. And so, interesting. The Midway Happy Way card is not at the bottom today. It is in the middle of this deck. Spirit's so fun today. Extra fun. Maybe that's why, like, the cranky energies are coming out, because it's kind of like we're meant to have fun. But, like, maybe we've been adulting way too much, and so it's kind of like... It's kind of like getting out of our, like, I guess, like, comfort zones of which we've been in. Not that fun is not easy to get into, but, like, at the same time, when fucking seriousness has been around for so long, you're just kind of, like, edgy about having fun a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little, what's the word that I want to say? Like, not stern, but more so, stiff about having fun. So, all right, let's get it together. So this is the energies that we're currently in now. So the Yin card, the first card that I talk about, is going to be about the energies now, up until, you know, 12 a.m. tonight. And then the second, and that's Eastern Standard Time, by the way. And the second card is more so for tomorrow, which is, you know, tomorrow up until 3 p.m. and it'll be basically it'll be basically, and I'm gonna just come back around, the theme of tomorrow that we're gonna be talking about is children, creativity, the future. And today's theme that we're currently in right now is the 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and after is it's love and relationship and marriage and commitment and that type of stuff. So that's very cute. This is so exciting. All right, so, and then the Midway Happy Way card, which is kind of like the wave that connects both and or in between, which is actually going to be super, I feel it's going to be like kind of popping out at us, which is like, I guess, a little bit more potent than normally. Is the higher one, I'm gonna say, all right, well, I'm gonna just say the Midway Happy Way card, thank you, Spirit, is the remember me by the memories, by the happy memories that we created, okay? Very interesting. This is really fucking interesting. Wow. Okay, so then, so the first card, let's talk about it, is that I feel happy and I feel healthy and happy now. There's one guy on this card that's kind of like at the tippy top of the mountain or the rock that he's on. His arms are widespread. He feels like he conquered it all. I do feel like there's a single person out there that literally has really kind of mastered all that they wanted to put into their life in terms of habitually before they met their divine counterpart. And so, and along with the energies that are coming through, I feel like it really is helping. And I'm talking about the new moon energies that came through in Scorpio, which means that, really underneath all of you, like genuinely, so you are feeling super healthy and happy, and you are going to literally, you put like habits into place, you are going to stick to them. You're only going to get better from there on out. And I just feel like you're in a good place right now in terms of just like, you having optimized your quote unquote singlehood so that you can have stuff going on in a healthy manner when you're I wanted to say spouse, when you're I guess spouse, we're gonna just keep to it because everybody knows kind of what that is. So when your spouse comes in, you will have a healthier and happier relationship due to it. And that was, I guess, more so the moral of the story, is that's why you kind of built all that you wanted to build up until, or up towards, just so that you could have a happier and healthier, lifestyle for yourself, but also for, especially when you are to include somebody else into your home or into your life. I don't know why home came out so quickly. I think that's really potent right there. But into your space, right? Into your life space. Like, I feel like you're just ready. You're ready to have it. So that's kind of more on a smaller yin, personal, interior level, also coinciding with what's going on today. So there is some sort of high accomplishment. There's a lot of self-love. There's a lot of, perseverance. There was a lot of, I'm also going to add myself, like in terms of my own thoughts, grit. But there was something else I wanted to come through before that. I'm hearing high honor. Like, there's just like, you're really like taking no shit. I don't know. There's just like I feel like you've been very much so, thank you, Spirit. You have made life really beautiful to where you take no shit from anybody. You know what I'm saying? And you have your boundaries set up, and you love you, right? The self-love is super there today as well, because the self-love always kind of has to be there, and not to kind of keep anybody out of your boundaries, but to let everybody know that there needs to be respect, right? I just sense that like today you stood up for yourself in a way where like you are not going to fucking tolerate bullshittery anymore. So there might be a situation like that that's going on today. And so, yeah, so just what a positive card. And that's also been the theme, by the way, is like positivity, but like genuine positivity, where you do feel genuinely healthy, genuinely happy, because this person obviously climbed their way to the top. Like, they've done the work, to climb, it takes work. People don't realize. So it's kind of like you're there and you're going to coexist with it, and you're going to maintain it, and you're gonna just be like super on top of your game. So thank you, Spirit, for this entire reading, because seriously, this is I'm using the Talking to Heaven mediumship cards by James Van Praagh, and this is all just super coming in like powerfully. So I just want to let you know, congratulations, because Spirit is seeing all that you've done in order to make the moves that you were kind of supposed to be making all along the way. And I also want to just put in there that, like, since you're in habitual notion of it and motion of it, or the process of it, along with just kind of like, you know, making it to the top, there is going to be a sense of a little bit of boredom, like, now what do I do? You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing is, it's a positive boredom, so just embrace it. That's a huge teaching lesson today. Just embrace a little bit of the boredomness, because you haven't been bored, and this is not a boredom where it's like, oh, you're going to turn into misery. It's like, no, you're just bored because you're going to give yourself a little bit of more time to just digest, and I'm going to say ingest and digest, like, how far you've come, how happy you are with yourself, and, you know, how proud Spirit is. Like, it's basically time to, like, feel Spirit being proud of you. That's the boredom time. That's, I think, why that's there, is because you're kind of like, as you're quote unquote, like, you know, in your, I'm gonna say, finale of your like long-term singlehood, like, I feel like, you know, you've done all that you needed to do to put positive stuff in motion, and today's a day where you get to kind of like just celebrate with Spirit. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, and to me, I feel like I just want to cry, because that's so beautiful. It really is. It's like you've made life so beautiful for yourself, in the way that, you know, maybe courageously other people couldn't do for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And now you're kind of being given the gift of just like, just take it easy, even if things aren't like super perfect, even if things like aren't exactly the way that you want them or whatever. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you have OCD and you fucking leave one thing out on the counter, right? But like everything else is clean. That's exactly what it feels like. It's like, oh, you might be pissed off about that one thing, like, oh, I should go put it away, or I should go fucking make it nice, like way more neater than it is, way more beautiful than it is, you know? But then spiritually, like, it's okay. Like, if you are getting pulled to relax more and to just like sleep more and just to like do nothing more, like, you utilize that time. Like, it's because this is like the finale. This is like the last leg of the race, in terms of, maybe not even last leg of the race, but like more so, this is the last time you'll kind of get to, I could cry. It's like the last time you can literally get to spend like the purity time with them. Oh my God, I feel like it's like literally like a death energy, and it's coming through so strongly, obviously because I'm crying, but like I never even realized, like, that's just something that, you know, because we're all like, I want to just say, like, in the States, we're all like prone to going, like non-stop, you know, just like putting in the fucking work. And then like now I feel like things are at least more so in place, in comparison to them not being in place. And so it's really just a beautiful energy where you just get to spend time, and I'm also receiving like heal from all of that with Spirit, so that you can really transition into having way more fun, and like obviously being in receiving mode when that person comes in, and just like really kind of you know, like feeling into like the last of, you know, how it's gonna be with you and Spirit right now. You know, like things I feel like are gonna start moving and start pivoting is what I'm hearing. And so this is just kind of like you get to just be with yourself and your own boredom, but like it's actually a celebration. It's not a negative thing, you know. And I just, it's kind of miraculous, you know. It's like the fucking time has come. That's what I want to say. It's like the time has come, and you're like not even, and that's like what's been going on for the past couple of days. I felt like with this new moon is like things are gonna start happening, and you're not gonna feel ready for them, but you're gonna do it anyway. Like the fear is gonna be there still. You're not gonna feel ready, but like it's, the whole thing is, it's like, but you're gonna do them anyway. Like you're gonna fight through it. You're gonna fucking just bust through it. Bust through the veil, right? Is what it is, right? So, and I just feel like when I say bust through the veil, this is also super connected to being with Spirit in a different sense. Like let's say you're not labeled as a medium, right? but like all of a sudden you're gonna become a fucking medium. Like it's just like like because you've just like busted through and there's no like separation between, like before it was more so maybe like separation of like fear and you're not ready yet and what if this, what if that, and you were like culminating and going through all this stuff, and you were in practice of, you know, putting up boundaries, telling people no, this and that, which is all basically the same thing when it comes down to spirit too, you know? So the whole thing is, it's like now that you've been in training, now that you've reached this apex, it's like you might not be ready, but like the universe knows that you're ready. So if the universe is bringing shit up and you're like, okay, fine, then I'll just fucking do it. If the universe thinks you're ready, then it's an automatic yes. If they're bringing opportunities to you, it's an automatic yes. It's not about you self-sabotaging. It's about you basically creating this adventure of life and having so much fun and just fucking saying yes to like what feels right to you. You know what I'm saying? What you feel like you've been putting your work and effort and energy towards, you know? And I just feel like, you know, Spirit's gonna bring you these, thank you, Spirit. I feel like Spirit's gonna bring you these like really like opportunistic, optimum, like, you know, what's the word for, like just, yeah, just optimistic, like opportunities. And when I say optimistic, I mean with the M-Y-istic, right? Like, so, you know, it's like really divinely guided, optimistic type of energy that you're just going to say yes to. The transition here is remember me by the happy memories we created. I'm sensing that there's some of that internal fucking frustration and struggle and annoyance coming through with that. So I feel like maybe somebody's gonna approach that might have really fucking bothered you in the past, or like created this like weird ass negative bullshit, like, you know, in the past with you. And they like created this frustration, they created this little bit like hell on earth for you, like for some reason. And I feel like they might be coming back around, especially, I mean, sometimes that happens when you're like just vibing high, and, you know, and like people try to come back in like fucking moth to a flame, right? But the whole thing here is that, you know, you might want to just hear them out. You might want to remember them by the happy memories that you guys created rather than the negative. But also here is, in case you are the approacher, which I don't think I'm reading for the approachers, I'm reading more so for the receivers. But if you are the approacher, I just feel like have some, you should approach this fucking person that maybe you swindled, is what I'm hearing. And or you should try taking a crack at it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think this person is, you know, of the spiritual understanding and can hold their own, you know, against you if needed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, always have that in the back of your mind, that could be that could just easily so fucking happen, where rejection happens. But even do things, like I said before, with knowing the fear of rejection, right? Like there are things that are going to be just like, I'm going to say delivered to you through spirit that you really should follow. So to see where you can kind of, you know, where I'm going to say you both stand with each other. That's basically what's coming through. The next card is for tomorrow up until 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, again, just to repeat myself, which I don't like doing, but I will do forever for these readings, just to kind of gain more clarity in terms of what we're talking about, is future, creativity, and children. Okay, so and usually the color here is orange, and I'm gonna mention that every time too. Orange and like more of like a white and gray. It's actually more, I'm gonna say more orange and white, but also salmon, right? Or like a desert rose type of color a little bit, but more on the orangey side of that. And so, long story short, the card here is, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. So there's a unicorn on this card. So this is like a super powerful card where it's like, so talking about unicorns in the position of like children, you know what I'm saying? Like creativity and children, like that's so cool. So I'm gonna say that, okay, I don't know, this is like weirdly coming up, is that like maybe somebody is going to be meeting somebody's child, and like that's like a fucking unicorn thing, because that would like never happen. I feel like with the moral of a person standing behind it, like I don't know what that, there's that feeling like somebody might be meeting somebody else's child. But also, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. This also could mean that a person is like flying, right? Because when I think of a unicorn, I think of, you know, like basically the sky's the limit. Also being in several places at once, the only way that you can really do that sometimes is only through the speed of flying. So that's why I'm getting the essence of, you know, somebody could be flying in, somebody may even have their kid with them. I mean, who the fuck knows? I don't know. I mean, it's really interesting because Halloween is coming up, so if you have your kid with you, it makes complete sense. I was just thinking about that. Maybe you'll go Halloween trick-or-treating to like new neighborhoods, you know, that would be kind of cool. What else am I getting? But there was something that I was getting here that I was not, I couldn't like fully grasp it. Let me get some water, guys. I will be right back, because I was like just trying to get on here, so let me just get some water. I'll be right back. Let me think about this card, and I will come at you with a message in just a few minutes. Give me 1 second. 4 seconds. Alright, so I am back. I've yet to drink a water, so give me 1 second, guys. I always say 1 second. Okay. I fucking love purified water. I fucking love it. Okay, so there is something here that I can't fully grasp it. I don't know what it is. As a soul, I can be in several places I want. Oh, maybe I have to read the book. Give me 1 second. Just to find it. To find where this is. That's interesting. I just opened two. I have no pain, so that's really a confirmation. And I have no more earthly worries. That's amazing. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Right. This is very interesting. Okay, here we go. It says, without the human body, I am free and I have amazing new abilities. I can travel to any place in almost any dimension with just a thought. Wow, this is crazy. Okay, I'm going to tell you something right now. Do I mention it? Okay. So this card has a lot to do with somebody having lost a friend, okay? And the friend is maybe possibly the energy and or the unicorn. So it could be the energy that's watching over you and or the unicorn that's kind of like getting you to all these different places on purpose, okay? And what I'm seeing, this Midway Happy Way card says we created. So it's kind of like together you're intuitively doing things in your real physical life due to spirit literally leading the way, guiding you, nudging you, pushing you a little bit from behind to kind of do what you have to do in this life for yourself to make it a whole lot better, a whole lot healthier and happier, and a whole lot more of that energy. You came, you saw, and you conquered, right? So that's definitely, I think that's what I was trying to grasp before, and I couldn't fucking I couldn't nail it down. So, yeah, so that definitely came through. Do I read more of the book? Okay, I'm going to read more of the book. So it says, I can travel to any place in almost any dimension with just a thought. It's like living in one of those flying dreams that you and I discussed. So I can, and maybe somebody received somebody in their dreams, literally, to either discuss something or to know the next best thing to do for themselves. But somebody could really have dreamt of one of their friends, right? So it says, I can be with you as often as you need me, and it won't hold back my spiritual growth. If you miss my presence, just say the word and I'm there by your side instantly. I also wanted to read that as instantaneously. I don't know why. Like even quicker than instantly. But also, what I wanted to say here was the word is just calling them by their name. Like I think that's maybe somebody like if you pray to if you don't pray to one of your friends that have passed, I think it's really okay for you to speak their name and to be like, hey, I need you right now, you know? And I was more thinking of that spiritually, like if you had a friend that passed, like that's basically how you call upon them. But I'm also sensing that you can literally call upon an earthly friend just in the same way, which is really odd. I never even thought about it like that, but it's true. Like energetically, you could be like, I really need you right now, you know? So, and then that's kind of like more so telepathic, you know, telepathic and or letting the angels and your spirit guides and your guardian angels know that like you really kind of need the physical person in your life that you're calling upon now, rather than just having it be an idea. You know what I'm saying? It says, although I'm not technically an angel because I still have my human ego. Interesting. Human ego to deal with and learn about. I am like an angel to you. Wow, this is so fucking wild and how it's coming across. I'm going to tell you how it's coming across. This is more so of the person that I was talking about in the physical realm with you. So I was just saying that. So it's like they literally, you might be calling upon an earth angel who still has their human ego to deal with and learn about, but again, just know that they are like an angel to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if you sense or if you get nudged or pushed or pulled to even reach out to a person that you're like thinking about, whether something went down or whether something didn't, our purpose, I feel, is to overcome the human ego by just ignoring it, basically, right? By ignoring it and just being like, you know what, I know I did some shit, or I know they don't like me, or this and that, and I'm just gonna contact them. I mean, I do this stuff all the time. For instance, when I have dreams about people and I don't normally talk to them on a daily basis, I just reach out randomly just to be like, hey, listen, I just wanted to let you know you were in one of my dreams last night, so in case something resonates as a message, here you go. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, we might be looked as crazy. Yeah, we might the thing is we might not like each other even sometimes in terms of who's being, who the message is being delivered to, but you overcome it by just saying, you know what, the message in the dream is far more important than me not liking them. You know what I'm saying? Or me feeling like they're not gonna like me. They're gonna reject me. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. Like, you're gonna hear from me. I'm gonna leave it in a fucking inbox, in your text inbox or whatever inbox. I'm gonna drop it there. I'm gonna leave it there. You don't want to read it. You want to read it. Not my problem. My problem is just to deliver the message, right? Because my dreams mean a lot to me. Like, people don't realize. So my dreams, both physical in the earthly realm, and also, you know, while I'm sleeping, those dreams, they all mean so much to me because they're all basically they're like injected in you, I want to say, through spirit themselves. I want to say even prior to you having been born, possibly, and or in the immediate now, where it's like, you need to know this, you need to deliver this message, you need to be the fucking you know, post mail about your dreams, you know. So yeah, so, and it's really weird, like, I'm just like thinking, okay, well, Spirit's saying don't say it right now. Okay, so wild. That just whole dream thing is just super wild. So actually, do I write it down? Give me 1 second to write it down, because I think it's really important for me to write down that idea that I'm not going to share out loud, but I may not remember it, or I may not like listen back to this video. So let me just what's today, the 27th? Yes. Okay, I just have to write down an idea that just came up to me. So okay. I'm like typing this, so all right. Yeah, some things are just, they just have to be left unsaid. Okay. So, all right, so let me just read the last of it. So it says, I am like an angel to you. I will do my best to protect you always. And we're in literally Scorpio season, where it's all about protection. And it says, and you can count upon my continuing love. And Scorpios, when it's funny that it mentions love right now in the love aspect too. It says you can count upon my continuing love, which basically means that, I just want to say, Scorpio love is like that deep type of love. Like, I was laughing so hard at somebody mentioning recently, they were like, listen, if you're not going to go deep, then like, don't even fucking swim in the water. Like, that's just like, I feel like somebody said that recently, and I was laughing so hard, and I'm going to talk about this. Oh, this is how it came through, because I was laughing so hard. I was like, so, you know how black people, like it's like a stereotype that black people can't swim? And I was like really laughing, because I think that had me going yesterday. I don't know if I posted it, but I was laughing so hard at the Reno 911 post. So anyhow, so that got me thinking, and it's like so wild, because I was like, you know, I personally, like, I love and I connect to black people so well. Like, I feel like they're, you know, like I am one, you know, on the inside. But it's so funny, because I feel that, you know, I literally, like, so this was me analyzing yesterday. So I feel like, and I love to go deep. Like, I love to fucking swim the deep emotional aspects of life, and I don't give a fuck. And I just think it's like, you know, the emotional, you know, or personal self-development deep diving is so, or free deep diving, however you want to call it, is really, I love being in those waters, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, yo, and I'm like interested in you know, I'm gonna say, I don't even know how to say it. I'm gonna just say I'm interested in black people, right? But the thing is, I also know that I need to kind of stay away from black people, because ultimately wise, they can't swim. Like, they can't swim. So my whole thing is, Like, I was laughing to myself because I'm like, yo, they can't swim and I'm swimming, which means that if you can't go emotionally deep into your depths, then that means you're gonna fucking drown me. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna drown me, like, spiritually. You're gonna drown me fucking physically if that happens. And I'm not really anybody's lifeguard. You know what I'm saying? Like, lifeguards be doing their thing because of the fact that they get paid for it. They have been trained and all that jazz, which is beautiful. And I respect that profession so much, by the way, especially those that are in the ocean. Don't even fuck around. Like, that is just nuts. That profession is super huge. But what I wanted to say there was, you know, it was that Reno 911 post that came up, and then somebody right after had mentioned something about, like, Scorpios. Like, Scorpios are the ones to dive deep. Like, if you can't even fucking get into the water, like, don't even fuck around with us. Like, just leave us alone. Like, let us do our thing, because, like, we're just really good at it. You know, it's kind of like getting in the way of, like, a lifeguard that knows what the fuck they're doing, but you're not a lifeguard. You don't know, like, what's it called? I was gonna say, not procession, but the process, right? Like, you don't know the process of what it would take out of, like, everybody's safety to go save another human, right? So, like, just don't get in their way. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let them fucking do their thing, and, you know, they know the procedure. Thank you, Spirit. That's the fucking word I'm looking for. So the whole thing is, like, don't mess it up. Like, don't fuck around with the procedure, right? And so I was, like, laughing so hard. I was like, I guess that's why maybe I've never allowed myself to be in a relationship with, you know, a black person before, because of the fact that, like, and I'm gonna specifically say black dudes. I don't know why. Like, it's like, blessings to them. I have nothing against them, but I think it is, like, maybe more so all too much of a like, I don't know, like, I feel like they're more topical. Like, they're emotionally, like, topical, and I don't know how to express it. It's like they'll, I don't know how to express it, but I'm like, I need somebody that's, like, emotional in depth, but also could be emotional topical, right? Like, not that you have to be, like, so, like, I don't fucking know, like, so deep with other people, but, like, at least, like, get, you know, be, like, heart connecting with others I think is really important, as well as, like, and that can happen in all different ways. That can happen through communication, that can happen through music, that can happen through comedy, that can, like, you know, to be soul touching or heart touching is really big deal. That can happen through tarot, even though I like when females do tarot more often than guys. I don't know why. Not to say that guys don't have intuition, but I just feel like, you know, there are certain things that are meant for certain people, and you know, all good to, like, those that do whatever the fuck they want to do. My whole thing is, you know, it's kind of like things are meant for different people. Like, having babies are meant for women, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not having babies are meant for guys. Like, that's like even though it's, like, all too traditional for nowadays, it's like, that's their role. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't get, I'm going to say we don't get to change that. Like, that's how it's always going to be. You know what I'm saying? Unless you fucking decide to alter different shit in your body, just like you can do with, like, any type of surgery nowadays. I mean, that could possibly happen, but, like, my whole thing is, that's, to me, the equivalent of, like, literally, like, if a mummy passed and said, like, in their, like, what is it, not vows, but, like, whatever, like, in their own scriptures or whatever that they had back then, like, do not fucking touch, do not resurrect, like, don't fucking touch it, don't resurrect it. Like, there's just some things that you don't want to alter. There's some things that you really don't want to fuck with, you don't want to play with, you don't want to mess around with. You don't want to fuck around and find out with, if that makes more sense to you guys. So, like, that's something that, like, I'm not for, because you just need to leave it alone. So that's what I'm saying. Like, different things are allocated to, like, different, you know, different people. And not to say that one can't do better than another. It's just more so like I just have different traditional views on the highest and best form of which way things can work. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, like, I feel like it's the highest and best thing for a female to have a baby for some reason. And I don't know why. It's just the way that it's always been done. And I think that that is the reason why it's naturally done. I don't know, because it's like the highest and best way. But like, if you were to alternate like sexes, you know, having the fucking babies and stuff, like, it might not be it might not be the highest and best quality, right, of it. Just like, kind of like, how do I want to describe it? Like, okay, true love babies, I think, are way more different. And again, I'm not gonna fucking say nothing about anybody else, so don't reflect it back onto you. I'm just keeping it general, right? I'm saying babies that come out of true love, I feel like, just vibe higher and vibe differently. Maybe not vibe higher, but vibe differently, I want to say. And maybe probably more so higher, right, than those that that, like, you know, were born out of, you know, just, like, your mistake, you know what I'm saying, or some shit. Even though we're all worth it, like, something, right? We're all worth it. We're all here for a reason, is what I want to say. But I'm just being funny, even if it hits a little more deeper. I don't really kind of care, because my whole thing is, again, you have to connect with my heart to know that I don't mean really anything bad or, like, you know, super painful about that. I just mean that, you know, in different circumstances, it's kind of like, here's what I have to say about that example that I just said. It's kind of like with food, right? You can get food at Walmart, which is fine, right? It still exists, still edible. But you could also get food at, like, I don't know, like, I'm gonna just say you can go dine out, right? Which is the highest and best and, like, you know, like, epically, like, I guess, like, way to eat food. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a heightened way of eating food, I guess, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. The heightened way, like the restaurant eating, would basically be more so, you know, when a female has a baby, and then, like, and anything in between, like, and then, so, okay, I'm gonna just finish my idea, is that, like, the Walmart food would be like if a guy had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are two different just qualities of fucking species of food, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Different levels. So that's all I mean. I don't mean to, like, target anybody. And if I do, God bless, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm actually here to target different things in terms of, you know, either I have to trigger the fuck out of you so that you are more acceptable with yourself, and or I just target because I have to be accurate with my fucking readings. So, like, if you are, you know, touched by it in a negative or a positive way, I've done my fucking job, because thank you, Spirit. That was definitely a confirmation of the loud ass truck that just turned on. And so, long story short, yeah, so that's basically, thank you, Spirit. That's basically, like, what I want to say here. So, like, I'm not afraid of being accurate in a negative or a positive way. It's like, if I bring up triggers, I bring up triggers, right? But, like, also, here's what I do have to say to a lot of things that are coming up, is things that are coming up or coming back around is, you might have stood your ground in a way towards somebody or another person, okay? And or maybe even multiple people, and maybe it was a multiple times, right? Where maybe somebody is actually gifting you or contributing to your life in a positive way, but really it looks positive, but it's actually kind of, I'm gonna say, like, maybe condescending or negative, where it's kind of like, you know, people want to make amends with you, so they're going to give you a gift. But it's really, what's really beautiful is when you can, and this is really rude, but in a high vibrational rude way, is where you can be presented a gift, and it can mean like it could be that olive branch, right, from another person, but the olive branch is also the excuse of where they don't have to really apologize. They can just present it to you and all will be kind of like forgiven, right? And the thing here is, I personally, it was two people, and like one after the other, have really tried to come at me with their thoughtful gifts. And I do, even though I do appreciate all the gifts I get, I really do. People have to realize that I'm also more so of a minimalist, like a little bit of a minimalist, like semi-minimalist, to where, you know, I appreciate presents, but what I appreciate more, and I've said this out loud to people who are like, why aren't you accepting this, is because you need to understand, or those people that are trying to give me gifts of the olive branchness, right, in their own sense, or trying to gain my forgiveness, put it that way, without discussing anything, or without bringing up the topic, or without, you know, basically like beating around the bush and then giving me a gift to literally, like, you know, put things off to the side, or put things away. I'm not about that life anymore. People need to realize that. Treatment to me is a big deal, so that's what I was going into before. I love love, and I love respect. And that needs to be handed to me way more than a gift. And I love money. Like, I absolutely love money, because I've also realized that throughout this life, I've had my ups and my downs, and I don't care if you're going to give me a gift. It's beautiful, but I also love money. And not only that, let me just tell you something. Money comes, maybe, because I'm not expecting money from others. I'm expecting money to be created from, you know, the source above, and me, myself, and I, right? But what I'm also trying to say here is, I'm also about support. So a gift is beautiful because it's the thought that counts, but also it can be given to you by a person who doesn't support you, and actually maybe has made your life a little bit of a hell. And actually also a gift can come from a person who really fucking disrespected you and never said I'm sorry, right? So this also, so to me, it's like, it's love, I love respect, I love support of all kinds, and then it's the money. But obviously the money on both ends, like before even the love, is fucking beautiful because of the fact that, to me, it's kind of like a rainbow, right? Like, I love my fucking gold, my pots of gold on both sides. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how I meant, like the money on both sides. So my whole thing is, when it comes down to it, I just want to let you know that there are people that might be coming through, because you're now at a, really genuine, happy and healthy level, that people might be, they see that your heart is more open. They see that you're more like open to, like, just connecting or whatever the fuck. I shouldn't say connecting, but just open with yourself. Okay. And so you're exuding that energy. And so you might be getting that type of, like, you might be getting gifts to receive and this and that. And I'm all about it if I love it, or if I have the room for it, or if I can do something with it. But at the same time, I am very quick to say no, because of the fact that I really don't need much more than I already have, other than I need a whole bunch of abundance of love, respect, and honoring me as a human being, even with or without money, right? That is the whole point of it all. I feel like, to fucking really just love and respect and honor and support somebody with or without money, and only due to them having a good character, or having a good head on their shoulders, or having done all the best that they possibly could, making good choices in their life, right? So it's kind of like, don't negate my shit, right? Like, if you don't like me, if you disturbed me or my peace in any which way, by the way, I'm going to add peace into that too. If you disturb my peace and my good-heartedness and my good character in any which way, when I was just coming out of my face and speaking truth in nothing more than a loving way. Because honestly, I really am very mindful with the way that I speak truth, because I know truth can't be handled by a lot of people, right? But the whole thing is, sometimes, you know, whichever the way the truth is delivered needs to be delivered that way, tone and all, right? So my whole thing is, when a person doesn't like it, they don't have to accept it, they don't have to like it, but don't mistreat me because of the fact that it's something that, you know, had to come out of me, right? It's a message, right? So it's kind of like, don't, what's that, like, don't kill the messenger, that type of thing. Yeah, I've been killed all too many times, you know what I'm saying, by in so many different ways. And now the people that have quote unquote killed the messenger in the past, or hated on it, are now coming back around to being like, will you accept this? And the answer, most of the time, is going to be no from me, because I rather have the respect for somebody to come and say, hey T, like, I'm really sorry that happened, I didn't mean to, you know, do that, like, whatever. If you need to explain yourself, if not, you know, don't, you know. I always deserve an explanation, because I'm always speaking with explanation, so I don't give a fuck. May it be that hard may it be that quote unquote hard and challenging for you to actually come up to somebody that actually gives that shit out, is what I wanted to say, which basically counteracts or cancels out the hardness, right? Like, but also I understand that people don't connect with their meaningfulness all the time, and so it's hard to do. That was a confirmation. So my whole thing is, you know, I don't get what I can get, but I accept what I get, right? Like, if it's just like, and I'm sorry it takes a lot for one person to say, you know? And so, and may it not be a lot in the future if we're all saying I'm sorry to, like, doing the fucking wrong things, but I feel like at this point in time, we are going through a little bit of a transition of, like, going from old school to, like, a little bit of newer school, and I'm transitional, you know, vice versa. Either way, it flows. Like, I literally combine both, hence why I personally am a medium, but the whole thing is, you know, for right now, it might not be that easy for people to do, but we have to normalize it, and we have to make it a lot more easier than we think it is, which is why I was saying that we have to bust through the veil of what is holding us back. We might not like it, we might not like fucking, our ego might not like it, or we might not just, you know, it's, you know, we might find it annoying, we might not like ourselves because of it, but at the same time, we free ourselves up when we communicate about it, and when we're like, all right, listen, I'm sorry that I did that, like, I didn't mean to do that, and, you know. And I also find it's really interesting, talking about the ego, overcoming ego, I also find that when you actually have an explanation, you free yourself up even more. It's like clean cut. It's like there's no other, you literally repurify your own emotional waters when you're able to say, hey, I'm sorry, this and this is why it happened, and call it a fucking day. Because a lot of the times when you say I'm sorry, sometimes it's not good enough. Sometimes, like, you leave people still wondering, well, like, why the fuck though? You know, like, why did that fucking happen? And so, you know, to clear that type of clutter out, you know, is why you would go into your, you know, expressing yourself and explaining yourself as to why it all happened, right? Because you're not only freeing yourself up on a deeper level, you're freeing the other person too. This way you can kind of sort of potentially go back to normal, but not even back to normal, but go forward to just peace on both ends, right? It's not just like, oh, you've gotten the peace because you said I'm sorry, but the other person's like still like halfway in a shithole thinking about, all right, well, you did this to me, but also, or you did this to us, but also I don't have a fucking explanation, so I'm going to still hold on to my protection a little bit from this person, right? So again, the explanation is the vulnerability, the explanation is the why, the explanation is the clearing of the path so that both people can start over again on a brand new note. And I think this is how you get back to remember me by the happy memories we created. It's like, this is, the explanation is how you would get back to the happy memories, to creating even more happy memories. And so that's basically what I wanted to say there. So just don't be afraid of saying anything in terms of like, hi there. Don't be afraid of saying anything. Don't be afraid of apologizing at this moment in time to those that you really might be holding like a grudge towards, because I feel like Scorpio season is where grudges are held, right? Like a lot of people that are Scorpios can tell you they hold grudges, you know? And I really wish for all Scorpios and everybody in Scorpio season to like release the fucking disgusting grudginess type of energy, and may you transmute that into maybe like a grunge type of style instead, because the fact that that would resonate more with you than hold on to that kind of poison within your system, so that we can all free up and just like have a joyful party, because we like to party. Like Scorpios like to party. I say we because I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, but like Scorpios are like the party, you know, the party signs of the zodiac, you know, they love to party, as well as like Sagittarius. So like the whole thing is, it's like, you know, that's where the whole freeing of yourself up needs to go towards from now until tomorrow. And that is also for you to feel inwardly way more healthy and way more happier than if you didn't do that, right? So, because we all have those choices, whether to hold on to that shit and really just kind of be like nasty about it and like not care, which is like, you know, sometimes it's easy for certain signs to do, but also it can really cause a lot of harboring, and it could cause a lot of damage to your healthy body, you know what I'm saying? So the whole thing is, it's like, you know, whenever you have to apologize to somebody, it's for yourself first, it's for your own self-love first, so that you're not feeling any of this animosity or any of the triggering that's especially coming through by somebody else, like who can, you know, like who literally might have done something to you, when really, you know, they may not know what they've done. But even though I like to say everybody can play as stupid as they want, but honestly, we all know the different things that we all do. Like sometimes, you know, of course there are certain people that are not in the now moment, where of course like they might fling something around like speech, or you know, some type of comment that they weren't in the now moment, they weren't thinking before they're speaking, or they, you know, whatever, I can't think, I wanted to think, well, I had a different idea, but it wasn't coming through. So, you know, so there's things all the time that like people are not in the now moment of, that, you know, they're not conscious of doing, so that can happen, but a lot of the times, we definitely do need to discuss things out, even if like, let's say you're like the Scorpio that holds on to shit, right? Like it is for your own self-love and your own self-good to basically hash it out with somebody that you have a grudge with. So sometimes it's not really all the time of where the person that you're holding a grudge against like needs to say I'm sorry. Sometimes you just need to like hash it out with another person, to be like, hey, you know what, you said that one time, it really fucking pissed me off, you know, and I know, you know, and you can always, this is how I approach people, and I don't give a shit. It's like because my whole thing is, you're like, if I trap you where I have to fucking say something to you about yourself that you knew that you've done, and that's what I like to say. We all know to some degree what we've done to somebody else. Like, we can't say like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Like, unless you're like way too busy working, or like your mind is elsewhere. I understand that. But that's where, you know, that all goes back to the aspect of me saying to, like, me, if I was a Scorpio person, right? Or the one that's, you know, wants to be courageous for my own self-love. If I'm the one that actually has to approach you, then just know that I'm going to, like a spider, basically trap you until I get the fucking truth out of you. Like, it's just how it is, because guess what? I have the upper hand, and it's not even about the power hungry anything. It's about now that I've given you time, it's counting me down, guys, but now that I've given you time, you know, time and space to like come, you know, speak up or say something or apologize, and it hasn't been done, and you're making